certifying badasses one podcast at a time. Teaching you to love Monday. Check your baggage at licensed-to-be-badass.com and hop on the bus to Badassville. Turn up your energy with Mustang Monday. Here once again in the driver's seat is Kelly Orchard.
With the manual?
No. Actually, okay, so I bought this brand new off the lot, and it was a manual transmission already. Yeah, I was like, done.
Those are fun.
I know.
Right, so I miss my Porsche. I had a 77
Yeah.
911S, and it was so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
And we had started our family. So
I know. You know, that's exactly what
Damn
happened to me.
kids.
I gotta roll it in the window anyway. Roll it down. Who cares? We're gonna suffocate it. And we are recording, by the way. So
oh wow.
We're recording. I don't know how much of this I'm going to use, but we're talking about vehicles and this Mustang because it is a 2006. I'm the original owner, and it's paid off. It's got 104,000 miles on it. And you're right. They don't make them like this anymore.
They do not.
They do not.
It was fun to sitting in here when you started up. I'm like,
whoa! I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't understand the electric ones now. I don't understand how you're going to get the same feel because this thing rumbles.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things about
Reminds
it.
you you're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Also, she drinks a lot. And I mean that gasoline-wise.
That was like, drinks a lot of wine? Drink a lot of wine and drive?
No, the car has a drinking problem. Yeah, it's like I'm constantly going to the gas station. But you know what? My son-in-law also told me the reason why is because I don't drive it conservatively either. You know, so when I'm at a stoplight, he's like, vroom! Heck yeah, I'm doing it.
That's why
What's
you
the
buy
point?
a secondary car.
That's right. Well, I had one and I turned it in over the COVID thing just because it was a lease and it was sitting there and I'm paying all that money. So, but I am kind of considering I'm in a market for another one because I really just want to preserve this car.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be my everyday car.
Well, Dion bought one of those little Fiat cars that you can put in your back pocket, which is perfect. So, like when you need to drive it, you just pull it out of your pocket and you can drive it.
There you go. I like that. All right, hey everybody, Kelly Orchard here with Mustang Monday. I am the Badass Certifier. Sitting here with a badass tip from the street is, how do you say your last name? I always butcher it.
I butcher it too.
You too?
Yeah.
And it's like Von Greiten, or is that
Gur-Ichten.
Gur-Ichten, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
But we're just going to call him Joe.
Joe Von G.
See, that's how I have you in my phone, and always have, Joe Von G.
Yeah.
And so that's all I call you.
Yeah, I'm either Social Media by Joe or Joe Von G for the people that have known me for the last 15 years. So.
Yeah. So, okay, I don't even know what tip you're going to give today, and that's what I always love about doing this is because it's always a surprise. What do you want to talk about? But I do like to kind of talk about how our relationship evolved. You and I actually met. Do you remember when that was? The first time?
Co-working connection.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think it was actually, I came to one of your events. That's when we actually...
I think we were actually both speaking at it.
Yeah.
You like followed me or I followed you or something.
Yep.
And that's how we first got acquainted. We were both doing
co-working week.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was.
Okay.
We were both on the flyers and it's like didn't know you, but we got acquainted at that and found that we have a lot of similar energies and ideas and interests and philosophies and just became fast friends.
Yeah. I mean, I remember right away I went to your free little workshop right after that, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and now that was before Badass.
That was way before Badass.
That was before Badass. That was quite a few years ago
But you were talking about Badass then.
I've always talked about Badass. The thing is I had to figure out how I was gonna like brand it because I can't really own the word Badass, but I do own licensed to be Badass. Did you? Where did I put that sticker somewhere? It must have fell when we were making all these arrangements.
I was hiding it.
You were hiding it. So this is now actually trademarked.
Oh, that is so cool.
I did do I have stickers that are on their way that have the little R with the circle on it because this is actually a registered trademark. So when we met, I hadn't even started anything of the Badass program, but I'm glad that you enjoyed the workshop because I'm going to be re-implementing some of those, seasonal kind of things because, my last name's Orchard. So I do seasons of growth.
I love
Spring, fall, summer, winter.
I told you before, I love the book series.
Yeah.
I know I've read through... I think at least a couple of your books, if not all of them.
Yeah, probably.
I think I've read almost all of them. But the workshop was perfect, and it was so aligned with what I like to do with my clients, which is really help them build businesses that support their lifestyle, not a business that they get stuck in, where they can't live the life they want to have.
Right.
So
So what are you doing now? Because I know that we've both been through many transitions. Because one of the things I know about you is that you were caring for your parents too, you and your wife. So these are like part of the, like, what I like to say is stay the course and be nimble and flexible. Because even though you're pursuing aspirations professionally, man, there's life going on too.
Yep.
But you've always, one thing I've seen about you is that you're a fighter. You come back. There's no bouncing. Humans don't bounce. Okay. But you come back strong. So what are you up to now?
Oh man, so much in the last 6 months. We've launched, thanks to COVID, we launched a program to help people find another way to supplement their income, or even start building out their wealth. Because my whole thing has always been about relationships, contribution, your health, and your wealth. Those 4 things. And I look at it like a bike wheel. I actually just finished a book. That was another thing I'm finalizing right now. And I've had people go through and give me the feedback. So now I'm making the little nuance changes.
The adjustments, the edits.
But it starts with, the concept of when you were a kid and you had a bike. And when you would get that flat tire and you couldn't go as fast. You didn't feel, the wind wasn't blowing through your hair, if you will. I know we talked about water skiing before. So, but that resistance you had, that slight resistance from having a low tire. And then when you would pump it up, it was always amazing how much faster you could go, how much easier it was. And so the analogy that I've come up with is that's kind of how your life is. And that when you add air to the tire, your life, and get that balance back, that integrity back in the wheel, there's a lot less resistance. Life becomes so much more fun and enjoyable and vibrant and just outright exciting. Like it's almost like recently there was a movie that came out yesterday. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yesterday?
Yeah, it's a family-friendly movie.
Okay.
So with our kids, we watched it.
Well, I'm not friendly to families. So. No, I'm not. I just don't have family to watch movies with right now.
I know.
In that way,
you got your grandkids, but your grandkids would love it.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Anyways, the parents went from being very thoughtful young people experiencing the world, traveling and backpacking, and they became parents and they started saying no. And so they had to shift, and it was amazing. They had to say yes to everything for one day for their kids. And there was rules and limitations, but that's how like most people live their lives, is we get so caught up in the drift.
Yeah.
We forget that part of the life is just saying yes and experiencing those opportunities that come our way.
It's interesting, as we record this, it's like Mustang Mondays are everything I do is recorded now, just because it's easier to manipulate, and you never know what's going to happen live. But as you're talking about the saying yes, I'm realizing it's like I'm publishing my Apple a Day podcasting right now, and it is my yes series. 30 days to say things to say yes to. So same mindset, and okay.
I love it. I love it. So that's really,
So tell me more about so the bicycle. So who are you targeting to build their life in using the bicycle theory, the bicycle tire theory? I like it.
So originally it was going to be geared towards me, because I'm the avatar, to some degree. But the reality is I want to help more people that are drifting, that are stuck in life, especially right now. And coming out of this pandemic, it's the best time. We're going to see the biggest explosion of wealth that we've ever experienced in our lifetimes. We're going to see people take their health a lot more seriously. We already are. Relationships, we did kind of see people start to get back in relationship. And now as things open back up, it's almost like everybody already forgot. And so I just have some simple strategies, that I put together in this book that we're actually using in our trading group that I've used with clients for years, my marketing clients. Kind of subconsciously, I've just kind of seeded those things to get them to start thinking about more than just the business. Because really, it's like, why do we do anything?
Right.
If you don't know the why,
what's your purpose?
Exactly. So, who's my avatar right now? Really, it's a little broad, to be honest. I'm working through that. But in general, drifters, people that are just.
I'm sorry, I have to laugh at that. First of all, avatars, like if we're talking marketing, because you might not be the marketing person. It's like the demographics, who they look like. But I like you said, it's a little broad. Okay, so you're a little broad?
Just a little.
Like a little woman? I'm sorry.
I'm un poquito.
Yes, okay. But, okay, so somebody who's been drifting, so you consider yourself maybe I really don't know if it was necessarily drifting. I look at you as, raising a family and maybe not always being able to be 100% go mode.
Well,
or maybe,
And you're right to some degree. I mean, I had already started working in that space. In 2012, I was fortunate enough, had a good friend, Rick Robbins, who I think you met before he passed. His tragic passing, and
no, actually, I think you and I met after that happened.
Right after that,
because I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, and one night he came into my office. We were at Co-working Connection, and he said, "Joe, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Like, if you could do anything right now, and money was no object, and all that stuff, all the $1 million questions."
Right.
And I'm like, I just puked on the guy, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and that's when bells started going off in my head. Wait, it's 9 o'clock at night. I've got a young family at home. I've got my wife at home. I've been here all day. And then I'd go home, eat dinner, kiss everybody goodnight, and I'd go right back to work. And what I found was I was just drifting through life because I was stuck in my business, and I knew I was, but I didn't really know I was. And Rick helped me come to that realization. He introduced me to some company site seminars, and I started doing the work there. And then I started venturing out and doing other similar work with other seminars and conferences. And I just fell in love with it, and I realized, man, I was drifting in my life, and I didn't know it.
Okay, see, that's why, because I haven't seen you drift. I'm like, when were you drifting? You're telling me a story beforehand. Okay.
Yeah, and that's how I came to it.
Yeah, that's how you came to it. Yeah. Well, and I would, it's like,
they're coming to get us.
We're gonna edit that out. No, probably not now. It's like, okay, but. I remember the conversations a lot of it is your mindset. Mm-hmm. Most of it is how you feel about it. It's like, so you and I may be on different branding and messaging, but we're on the same path, and which is what it's all about. And what I love getting people who do not exactly, but similar to what I do in my car, because I don't look at you as competition. I look at you as a friend, and it's a matter of, when you're in the right place at the right time and the right person comes along, and then when you can function with their branding and their messaging, and that's what I keep telling people all the time. It's like, I've been doing this kind of work where it's advertising, marketing, whatever, and even now psychotherapy a really long time, and I've studied all these things, and there is nothing new. It's just a matter of the messaging and the branding changes, or adding your twist to it and adding your story to it.
And you're right. And I mean, as a believer, that's one of the things, excuse me, my goatee got caught there. One of the things that I always get a kick out of is these principles that everybody thinks that, these guys came up with out of nowhere. And it's like, no. It goes far back. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. It's biblical.
Yeah, no matter if you're a believer or not, there's so many great principles in there. But I'll tell you what, one of the things I've learned over the last 20 years, being in business, basically self-employed for the last 20 years of my life, is that your success begins and ends with everything between your ears. And it doesn't matter what you do, what you take on. It doesn't matter the strategy you use, the tools you buy or invest in, the conferences you go to, any of that stuff.
Right.
It's all in between your ears.
Right.
And so if you don't have that game together, you may have some success, but you'll find a way to sabotage it eventually because you're just not clear.
Right.
So that's what we're really doing with our trading program. And
when you say trading, okay, what are you trading?
So it's for Forex, so it's currency trading. Okay. The foreign exchange market. However, we're also evolving into getting back to, I've traded stocks for years, and we're going to start offering, options there as well. So as they build some money in Forex, they can start investing it into their long-term portfolio and really balancing out their life. So the ultimate thing at the end of the day is to be able to take on opportunities. The reason a lot of people, I think, don't take on opportunities is because their awareness level, for one.
Well, right now it's like awareness level, exactly, because I'm like, you're just speaking Greek to me now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you've invested in yourself, in your future.
Yeah, exactly, in myself, in my future, but the stock trading and stuff like that, it's like, there's a market for that.
And there is, and it's a great way. So for us right now, we found with our students, the reason why they succeed or fail with what we give them, what we equip them with, is what's between their ears.
Yeah.
And so, as far as how that's working and evolving, I just found it as an opportunity. And my business partner is a young man. He was born the year I was graduated high school, so I love it. But he's got a great story. His name's Hunter, and he's gone through a bunch of personal growth and development, and really taken himself on. And at 28, he's accomplished more than I have at 46. And yet he always is telling me how he's behind where he wants to be in life. And it's like, dude, you're so far ahead. When you're 46, you'll be able to do whatever you want. But the whole thing at the end of the day is setting yourself up so that, one, you have the awareness, two, that you have the means when it's time to make that change. And what happens a lot of times is people base their decisions, especially jobs and employment, on the money, right, and not actually where they would really like to be. And
we see a lot of that. You beware of the job promotions.
Oh yeah,
because you may think that getting to that level of management is really where you want to be, when reality is that you're babysitting a lot of people, and is the pay really worth the hours? I mean, you have to really consider your life.
Yeah.
Also,
it's a Simon Sinek talks about it in Start With Why, and it's really a manipulation, for people. And they just, like I said, it's not that they're bad people or anything. They just don't realize it. And then hopefully my goal is to add that value into other people's lives, as many as I can. It's like I want to touch as many people and say, hey, have you considered this? Because I don't want them to, invest 40 years of their life and then look back and think, oh my gosh, that's 40 years I don't get back. And it's 40 years of going in the opposite direction of where I wanted to be. Rather than, I'm fully present, like sitting in this car, like I was feeling the vibration, like it like made my hair stand up, on my neck. And I was like, okay, this is cool.
I know.
This is something different.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't present for it, I wouldn't get to experience that. And a lot of people just go through life and they're numb to those kinds of things.
And getting back to your theme, this is something about saying yes to something, because I haven't seen you. It's been a couple years. It's been a couple years since we've had any kind of, and that's just, well, first of all, COVID kept us all locked down for quite a while, and so you focus on your own stuff. But you said yes because what happened was, it was really simple. I've seen you kind of getting a little more active on social media again, or maybe I'm just noticing you again, I don't know. And then you liked one of my posts about my podcast. I'm like, Joe would be a great guest in the Mustang. So I just hit you up on an email, and boom, here we are. He said yes. This happened just a couple days ago.
Oh, it happened on Monday, I think.
Yeah, because it was Mustang Monday. And I was like, hey, you liked my Mustang Monday post. Time to get you in the car. And it's a matter of saying yes. And like you said, now you have a different, fresh perspective.
I love this. I mean, I'm so excited to do this. I've been looking forward to doing it. And I know we were kind of playing around with our schedules a little bit.
Well, the thing is, people need to know, it's I know it's called Mustang Monday, but I don't need to record them on Mondays. I'm available any day.
You don't record them on Mondays?
They only play back on Monday.
You lied to your audience. I can't believe you did that. You never lie to your audience.
Well, I don't really lie to them. All right, so truth be told, you were talking about me lying to my listener, and I don't even know when this died, but the phone got too hot, so we're doing I gotta move my seat back. We're moving a little take 2, not the whole thing. We're just gonna wrap up because we've already done 20 minutes.
We could easily talk for forever. 2 hours.
Yeah, we could. But I'm really glad to have you in the Mustang, and I'm glad that you're writing a book. So tell me a little bit more about the book and what you're, I know you were playing with the title. Is it official yet?
No, I'm thinking I'm kind of leaning on, originally it was Fix Your Flat Tire. And then the feedback I got was that there was a disconnect between the messaging a little bit. And then I've had people say, no, that was good. But then I started thinking about it, and I do like it. So I want to really kind of use that, start with the why. And, does your life need air? And then take it from there, empowering, equipping, inspiring drifters. Memoirs of a father, husband, entrepreneur, and investor.
That's good.
So,
mine is flipping the format on the fear of failure.
Yep.
I take my radio background, flipping the format. So it's good that we take what is important to us. So, are you a bicycle rider?
No. You know what I do? I do mountain bike a little bit.
There you go. But I like the tire analogy. That's really good.
Well, so the youthful analogy is really what I wanted to trigger those emotions that people had.
Yeah.
There was a sense of freedom, and unfortunately, our kids don't get it these days as much. And so I really wanted to trigger that emotion for people that are in my demographic, that are the Gen Xers, maybe the late baby boomers, that they can remember like riding in the wind blowing on their face. And
right now I'm imagining a scene in E.T. where they're all riding up to the moon. Yeah. That's there you go. Exactly.
Great movie. And
they all rode their bikes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
imagine if they had a flat tire, they wouldn't be able to save E.T.
And we wouldn't know E.T.
We wouldn't even know this. So you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Put more air into your tires.
Yeah. So and really just stop resisting, because what you resist persists. And the more you resist it, it's going to keep persisting. And the reason is because it's there for you to say yes to it,
right? And
experience it. So the book itself, it's really based on, like I said, the 4 quadrants. You know, your health, your relationships, your wealth, and your contribution. Those 4 things. Draw a circle around, and from there you take an inventory, and then I have exercises in the book for people to walk through, just to raise their level of awareness, because what we put our attention into, that's what changes in our lives. Yeah.
What you focus on grows.
I always mess that up. When focus grows. See, the orchard, she always
I remember one question you asked once. I said, what do you collect quotes? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I do. I collect quotes.
When Jamie McNeese, I told her, I go, you have the best quotes. And she wrote a book on it. Her collection of quotes.
Well, you know, she's like my little roomie now at Michelle's place.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Yeah,
you're my favorite too. Well, I've got lots of favorites.
Watch it, man. You can watch that. You know, she's one of my favorite too. Now she has to get in the car. I've told her that too. I did a video with her and Kim about my new office space, which was really fun. And now I have to get them both in the car, which that might happen today because I'm having a good hair day. So, you know.
Hey, don't do that. You're doing it on Friday. You have to do it on Mondays.
Right. Yeah, well, I usually try to record a bunch of them at once, so that way I don't have to worry about it for another month.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about pre-planning. That's part of the thing, is that you kind of, like, in order to be prepared, you sort of need to have a blueprint.
Yep, definitely.
And that's what you're doing with your stuff. So, all right, everybody. Kelly Orchard, Mustang Monday. I'm the Badass Certifier, and this is another badass, Joe Von Grichten.
Oh, that was good.
I say it better than you do. Oh, that's good. So it's like, is it still Social Media by Joe, or?
No, it's been Red Zone Creative for quite some time now.
Right.
That's my marketing agency.
Okay. All right.
So
we're gonna be looking forward to Joe's book coming out. When it comes out, we'll do another episode or something.
Awesome.
Who knows what we'll do? Because I make the rules. That's
well,
what
I don't like that.
Well, it's my car.
Jeez. She wouldn't let me drive her car either.
I don't let anybody drive it, but nobody drives it. This thing has 104,000 miles on it as of a big trash truck coming. We're going to pause for a second. Watch this. Oh, great. He's going to dump the trash right here. I don't know, that might stay in the video.
That's pretty awesome.
I don't know, we had to pause for the trash truck, but no, this car has 104,000 miles on it, and I think that I've put on 102 myself behind the wheel. I've only let people, there maybe 1,000 miles on this car has been driven by somebody else.
Are they still walking this earth?
Yeah.
They did it on purpose?
Yeah, 2 of them were my son-in-laws.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway. All right. So I'm Kelly Orchard. So now I have a tagline, so just say it with me, okay? So I'm Kelly Orchard, Badass Certifier, and Joe and I are reminding you to be bold.
Be a badass.
You don't follow rules. Say be bold.
Be bold.
Be brave.
Be brave.
Be confident.
And be confident.
Now, be badass.
Be badass.
If you enjoy these interviews, you can watch videos of Mustang Monday on Kelly's YouTube channel, too. Grab your Badass Habits ebook. Get started on your badass journey. Go to licensed2bebadass.com.